Well, hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the channel. That's the safest thing for me to say because I'm not quite sure what the channel is. It used to be the Vobes Show. Then we were putting up short stories for people, unusual tales and that sort of thing. And on my other channel, the Richard Vobes channel, that was the Bald Explorer channel, that sort of played around with Made in England and is now sort of heading back towards Richard Vobes and just commenting. And then the lovely Julia and I have set up a channel called The English Couple, and we're just trying to work out what was the best way to run our YouTube experience. And so here am I on the old Vobes Show channel. Welcome back. Now, if you've got this and you're thinking, hang on a minute, I've no idea what you're talking about, who you are, whatever, it may be that you have subscribed in the past to either the Vobes Show or to my unusual stories, and this has popped up and you're going, I don't know what's going on. Or you're likely to be one of my old viewers when we used to do the live shows that we stopped earlier this year because we wanted to go off in the van and do van life stuff and that kind of thing. Life gets in the way when you're trying to run YouTube channels. You've got things to do, people, you know. Our relationship, Julia's and my relationship, blossomed, and we're now an item, and I've been trying to support her, she's supporting me, and things have been all over the place, really. And also, we've been trying to sort of work out, can we make the YouTube channel business work? Can it work for us as we sort out a number of our own personal bits and pieces and where we're going? And I think that we are getting there. And by the end of the year, as we're very close to it, we've pretty much now worked out where we're going. So we've got these different channels. For a long time, I didn't really want to separate everything out into new channels because I know it's incredibly difficult, and I gave the audience the choice that they could sort out what they wanted to watch. However, YouTube doesn't really work like that. The algorithm doesn't know quite what to do and how to present things and where to present things. And we were discovering that when we put together the English Couple and the Made in England shows, that we were not really experiencing growth because they were inheriting an audience from the Bald Explorer, which wasn't interested in new and different things. There was obviously some crossover, but not everybody wanted to jump on board. And the algorithm was going, well, we normally present this to this type of audience because that's the audience that has been with the channel from the beginning. And over 5 years, we'd sort of been doing the walks and the landscape, the heritage and nature. And that audience were going, I'm not quite sure. Some of them were and some of them weren't. And so the algorithm was struggling. So we're now trying to see if that we had a completely separate channel for the English Couple, which will be all the stuff that Julia and I do together, van life, going away, camping, all of that kind of thing with our friends. So many of the things that the Bald Explorer would have done, but because I'm no longer single and that we are a couple, we are an item, we don't actually as yet live together. Julia's still got her life at home with the children, and I've still got my life, and my house is one big, long, I say big, one small set of numerous different places. And I've got this studio still set up, and I was thinking, well, now that I've had this very strange experience, which you may not know, you may be thinking, what the hell is he on about? We put a video out about 10 days ago, and I was just putting up an opinion piece about something that the broadcaster and archaeologist Neil Oliver said in a GB News broadcast. And I was just really reacting from it, but there was a lot of interest in that, and it went viral, over 200,000 views. And it made me realise that there might be something in sort of reacting to some of the news items in that way, in a monologue, in a very simplistic, straight-to-camera way. So I experimented with that a little bit, and it does seem to be true that there's a lot of people who do want to speak out, and they appreciate people talking on a certain view that isn't perhaps the mainstream view. Now, to a degree, in the Vobes Show, in the past, on our live shows, I was doing that, but with more humour and get it, a little bit ranty, but in a light-hearted way, in a comic way. It wasn't everybody's cup of tea. Then Julia joined in. She sort of toned me down a bit. And then the show developed in a way that was very nice for its period, but which was interactive with the audience, but with the audience sending in videos, and it became a crossover, I suppose, from the Bald Explorer stuff of people sending in videos of landscape, heritage and nature, and the sort of comic, light-hearted thing that I wanted to do. I'm a very strange person because I like variety. I come from an entertainment background. I like performing. I like being a bit over the top. I like being a bit silly, a little bit mad. And so I still feel that that's a part of me that's not quite found a home, that maybe the Vobes Show had got a home. And it had developed in an area that I wasn't quite sure that I really wanted to. I felt a bit too constrained. And now I'm beginning to feel that I've got a little bit closer to where the different shows I want to do. So I do want to do the stuff with Julia. I do want to do these opinion pieces where I can be open and honest and talk how I think about things, but that perhaps be on a separate channel, which is the Richard Vobes channel, my main channel, my big channel, as it were. Because there seems to be now a lot of people have subscribed to that, and they're watching. They're keen to hear what I have to say about certain things, and it's a privilege to be able to do that. And then I was aware that I had been experimenting with the Made in England and the sort of magazine-y format stuff, and the slight comic over-the-top bit, and the live shows. And I thought maybe, and I said to Julia, maybe we should bring the Vobes Show back, but in a slightly different format, a bit more talking about events that are going on in the world, but getting the feedback from the audience and doing it live. So that's maybe the plan. I'm still sort of sizing it up. So it's a crossover then from the Made in England stuff with some features about things that happened in history, but also maybe doing it live, or at least trying a couple of these live again, but not with the videos coming in, perhaps not with the phone calls, I don't know. We did have phone calls from people who were, let's put this delicately, not really equipped to talk publicly on a internet forum, I'll put it like that, on the Vobes Show, which in a way dragged it down a bit, although I was happy and interested to hear different people's points of views. I also have the studio here, this studio space, which has been set up, and it's a shame not to utilise it, on a channel that was growing and was able to take adverts and earn a little bit to help pay for the electric and all the other things that one does. So it maybe we'll bring this. So this is really me reaching out to you, the audience, who have subscribed and will get notified of this. Whether you would like a light-hearted, that's the key thing, a light-hearted interactive show. Some bits not live and some bits live. It may be that it all goes back to the live thing because I can do the other stuff. We may react to that, but also react to stuff that's in the news and things that you want to discuss, that sort of thing. But fun, light-hearted. So particularly during this winter phase, and then in the spring, maybe, Julia and I will be out and about. So we may have to sort of hold that back. But it would be great then if Julia is in some of the shows and I'm in mainly hosting it, and that it's a sort of, I don't know, it's kind of a crossover type thing. Anyway, that's where the thoughts are on this. I'd be interested in your thoughts. Do put them in the comments below if you've got this, and let me know what you think. There's a whole people have been in touch over the last 3 or 4 months as I've been trying to work out where I'm going and how is the best way to do this. I'm just a bit of an unusual person that I don't have just one type of idea to follow. I want to do a number of things. And I think that's why I'm struggling to work out, should it have been all on one channel? I did try that, and now I'm spreading into these different channels, which I think it will make it easier for certain members of the audience who will go, do you know, I just don't want to see the notifications. So it's not my thing. This is the Richard Vobes bit that I like. I don't like him when he's doing his opinion pieces. I disagree with his philosophy and blah, blah, blah. But I like the entertainment. I like the jokes. I like the mucking about and all of that, which would be on this show. And then I like I like the couples thing, or I don't like the couples thing, and so I think it's probably best to separate these three different styles and different strands. So we'll hopefully by the new year have got this much more honed, and it will hopefully seem more streamlined. And then the last 6 months of the poking the hornet's nest to work out what is this is all about will be over. So do let me know. Be fascinated to hear about that. And yes, expect, and once I know, I'll put out a thing saying that we've got some live shows, and you'd be very welcome to come along and watch it. Also, if we do the live shows, when is convenient for you? I was thinking, what was I thinking? Well, I've got this time in the afternoon from 4 o'clock is a good spot for me, but it may not be good for you. Failing that, there is the evenings. But now that I am a couple, I do like to spend my free time with the lovely Julia, who I am very much in love with, and we want to spend some time together and, not feel that we're working. So, but I'm open to all ideas. You may say, well, 1 show a week, or you may say 3 shows a week. You may say in the afternoons is great. I've got nothing to do in the afternoons. I'm on shift work, or I'm retired. I'm interested in just having something fun and a bit of nonsense and a bit of tittle tattle and chitter chatter. There we go. Combination of the two. But you may go, do you know what? I don't want to see any of this. It's all rubbish. I don't like it. But, of course, that's your prerogative. You don't have to. So thank you very much for listening to all of this, and I will catch up with you in due course and let you know what's going on. Bye for now.